for whoever's watching this, like, Tristan's so good with words and stuff, and like he knows how to talk. Zero game.
But I think that was a good indicator of like, I'm not out here playing around.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? I wasn't out playing around.
Yeah,
and same deal with her. Like the fact that she bought into because some girls, like, they want to play games too. You know what I mean? So if you're too hardcore as a guy of like showing feelings, they get the cold feet. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a great indicator as well that you weren't out here playing around. We're live. So, the first episode of the T&G Show.
Such a bad name.
This is an incredible name, incredible logo that I literally created on Apple Notes 10 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago prior to showing up.
Yeah, we're not calling that the T&G Show.
What else do you think we'll call it?
Bro. Literally anything else.
I love the T&G Show.
Okay.
I feel like it's amazing.
I know.
I don't know. That's beside the point. We'll come up with different points. But the whole purpose of this show is I wanted to document with not only my business partner, my life partner. That sounds kind of fruity. My soon-to-be wife, on building a business with your business partner that you also do life with, that you're married to or getting married to, and like identifying that partner and like, what are the pros, the cons? Because like, I think a lot of people make everything sound super sweet when like behind the scenes it's a lot. You know what I mean? I can be a lot, which is a blessing. You know what I mean, for you. But let's start out, because I feel like a lot of people know me. Let's start out with talking about Miss Gali. So talk about yourself, and then we'll just start talking about us and building the business. But let's talk about you. Where are you from?
So I was born in California, but I grew up in Israel, and I moved back here. My mom's family, they all live in Florida. They live in Orlando. So growing up, we always came, back and forth. Florida is not a stranger to me. And, since I'm a dual citizen, it was like I finished my service in the Army.
Yeah.
And where I'm from, like in Israel, in my opinion, if you're super, hungry, motivated, you just don't have an equal opportunity here. Not only Israel, I feel like everywhere that is not the United States, like the opportunity here is just immaculate. Like you can actually make shit happen super fast.
Yeah.
If you're locked in, if you have the, the hunger and the drive and, that foreign hunger, you know what I'm talking about? We just appreciate the opportunity a lot more.
The immigrant work ethic.
Yeah. So
when did you know you wanted to like start making more than your traditional route, typical route of making money? You know what I mean? Like, when did you know that you wanted more in life and you wanted to be like solely independent for that success?
Yeah. I mean, at first I didn't know. When I first moved here, I didn't know. I wasn't aware of,
sales?
Not sales, but I wasn't aware of the amount of money you can make potentially. I moved to Miami, and I think as soon as I moved to Miami, which was like almost 4 years ago, maybe a little bit less, then I learned about, you just see the money. You see, like, every time you think big enough, like all of a sudden, like you get humbled real quick.
Yeah.
Like the amount of money that you can make here, I think that as soon as I was aware that it is humanly possible to make that amount of money, it was like, there's no going back. I think there's a certain type of people that as soon as you witness a certain amount of success, certain amount of wealth, if you don't get after it, or at least spend every second of your day, trying to achieve that, like, that's what's life about, in my opinion.
What do you think some of the challenges were, or what do you think maybe more so, not even necessarily challenges for yourself getting into sales, but also talking on kind of what are kind of the misconceptions that a lot of young women and women believe when it comes to getting into sales? Do you feel like girls don't believe they could crush sales, or they don't have enough exposure to sales? Like, when you talk to girls and yourself being, a young woman, like, what were those challenges, obstacles, and like those common misconceptions?
Yeah, I think as a girl in sales, and just a little backstory, I got in life insurance sales in my early 20s, and I've done sales since I was
your
20.
First was real estate?
No, I sold like some cosmetic products for like 4 months. It was not for me. And then I got into...
Was it Mary Kay?
No.
I didn't know you did cosmetic.
No. And then it's like medical
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like medical cosmetic stuff.
All the Israelis do
And
that.
then I did it for like 3 months, and I was like, this is not for me. And then I
Yeah.
did some wholesaling for a little while, and then I learned about life insurance. And what did you ask me? What's the biggest misconception?
The biggest misconceptions for like girls getting
I
into
think,
sales.
honestly, if you're a girl and you're like locked into this, like your mindset is like, okay, I'm a chick, so I clearly can do as good as boys. Like girls in sales, like this is our superpower, dead ass. This is our superpower. Whatever, if a girl would put the same amount of time that a male would put into, his like day-to-day sales job, she would literally do the same thing, same amount of calls, same amount of hours, same amount of, everything. I promise you, the chick is just going to close more deals.
Yeah.
I promise you. I mean, I don't know what product, whoever's watching this, what you guys are selling, or like.
I think most people, women want to, from my study of it psychologically, I feel like there's a lot more trust that would be delivered to a woman because you have like the motherly love. And then just as a dude, you know what I mean? I feel like most dudes are going to want to talk to a girl. You know what I mean?
Girls are just disarming,
Yeah.
We have that. So our gift, girls in sales, we just have the superpower of telling people what to do without it coming off as like pushy or, like we're allowed to say whatever, and we're chicks, we're girls. It's like a motherly advice. We're like advising them what's the right thing to do without, like pushing them to purchase a product or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, a superpower called
Yeah.
being hot. That's the superpower.
I close deals on the phone. No one sees my face.
That is
like,
true.
this is
When we first met, I had my typical, stereotypical, perspective. Oh, beautiful girl lives in Miami. I'm like, all right, what does she do? What industry is she? And obviously finding out you were in life insurance, but I'm like, is life insurance just a front? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
No.
Listen, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And then come to find out, I'm like, I've seen you rip probably $100,000+ in sales, like, over the phone without, individuals, seeing you selling insurance, not like, let alone, your door knocking days selling, real estate and doing wholesale real estate. So it's like really incredible to see, like, if you find a woman that has just enough discipline to lock in and not, because I feel like there is a comfort level where some women will just kind of rely on their looks and they won't get product knowledge, they won't be disciplined, like they'll just kind of sell themselves. And I really don't even mean sexually. I think they'll just sell like the look of like, oh, I'll just rely on my looks, which, I'll kudos to you if that works for you. But like you take it to a whole other level of like product knowledge, discipline, building a business. And so it's really, really incredible to see. But as we kind of transition now into kind of giving some advice on like identifying the right partner to not only like do life with, and I guess we're still figuring this thing out since we're a year in and, 3 weeks into building an insurance business. I will say this. We do not have anything figured out yet. We've got a year figured out.
We never will.
We won't. Yeah, we won't have all
has.
the answers, but I feel like we've got something really good going on. Shoo. What's it called? Foo.
Food.
Foo.
Food
Anybody
is
ever
like
know what that is?
wood.
Some of our Israeli followers maybe don't know, but
Food.
but I don't know. Like you've completely changed my life. I told you this the other night. Like after we had a little dispute, I think a lot of people just like over glorify their relationships, and I think we kind of acknowledge and understand like there's a lot that we both love, and there's a little bit that we both are probably just always going to have to grow on. And just I heard somebody say like, marriage isn't a matter of finding somebody perfect. It's a matter of finding somebody imperfect, and you're willing to grow with their imperfections, forever. But like for you, like being a beautiful woman and crushing business, and I can't imagine, and I don't even want to think of it and say it like that, but like, what made you know that, I was the right person to, maybe start building with and doing life with?
I think,
and what should women look for?
Yeah, I mean, I think. All right, so wait, like, what's the exact question? Like, how do I know? How
like,
did I know you're the one to build with?
Yeah, how did you know? And then I'll answer it too.
I think first of all, we aligned on so many things. Not everything. Like, I don't think there's a single couple in this planet that really aligns on. Like, there's just no such thing. Like, there's no way, 100%. And before I met you, I was kind of like, I don't know, the concept of marriage really freaked me out. I didn't know how people do that. I could barely spend time with, I don't know, anyone forever. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand how people can spend so much time with each other. Like, and then, you know, you and I met, we aligned on so many things. We were just like twins, like almost every, you know, opinion, every thought, every goal. We were just on the same page, and it was just easy, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like it was easy to see a future without me even trying, you know? And I think the biggest thing, and it's funny because I had a conversation with my sister the other day, literally.
And she hit you with the, how did you know?
Yesterday, she's calling me and she goes like, how did you know he was the one? And I'm like, at first I didn't. Like, it took a minute. It's not like, you know, I saw his beautiful blue eyes and I was like, you know, deeply in love, and I knew he was my, you know, my husband. Like, it definitely wasn't like that. I think that as time went on and I learned about you, and, you know, it was like, you think about, hey, can I spend my rest of my life with that person? Is it like, am I able to do that? And instead of getting like discouraged or scared or like anxious like I was before, I got like, it makes me happy, you know? Like, the thought is like, I'm super.
On day 2, when I told you I was going to marry you, how did you feel?
That's actually true. That's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
No, I think that's the right approach. I think for ladies, if you're like dating someone and you're, I don't know what phase in your life you're at, but for girls, like, if you're looking for the one and, you know, they're playing weird games with you, they're like
you're either all in or you're all out type of deal. You know what I mean?
Like, what are we talking about? Like, who, like, if I'm dating someone, I'm not dating to spend my time and move on to the next one. Like, every single person you date should be with the intention of you're the last.
Especially if you're in business, it should be an asset. Like, if you are an entrepreneur, you pursue, or you're pursuing some type of entrepreneurial journey, like you're going to be in sales, you want to build a business. Every decision you should be making should be analyzing kind of like a business investment, is like, is this going to add value to the business and to my life? And I think that was a big thing for both of us, where we saw eye to eye, is like, you know, pretty much every single piece of you was going to add value to my life and to my vision. And I think one of the first things that we kind of agreed upon is like, hey, what's your destination? And you know, we had the same general direction. I don't think either of us have a destination. There's not a number of employees or businesses we want to build. We just want to grow and build forever, and we generally align with that. And I think it all starts there. You know what I mean? Because I see a lot of like entrepreneurial couples or you know, people want to get into business together, and they'll be like, yeah, it sounds good, we'll work forever. And then they're a couple years in, or they're a couple weeks in, or they're whatever, and like one is like, I don't know if I want to work anymore. Like, I want to rest on $1 million. I want to rest on 100 million. And it's like, do we have 100 million yet? No, you know what I mean? But, you know, between us, we've definitely grossed over millions of dollars. And I know that is absolutely nowhere near, you know, where I'm looking to rest. So I think there's big alignment in that. And we got that question book. And I was like, we bought this question book Patrick David said to read. And it was like, ask 100 questions or something like that. And we literally got through it in probably 2 days. And we were like, we know we've already asked all of these, you know, how many kids do you want, like family and et cetera and everything like that. And I think the biggest thing was just the alignment. And especially like, I'll give advice to the young men and give you kind of perspective, because it's like, it's a little bit of, you know, I think some people Andrew Tate says a lot of good things, and I'll use it as a reference because I feel like he has a lot of influence on the young men. And I think there's some good things that he says with confidence building, working out, you know, and building for yourself and being independent. But I think some people take it very extreme with being this top G and playing like the weird games like she was talking about, where it's like making the woman chase you and having multiple women and different things like that. Do what you want. Like, I have friends and people I look up to that have completely different relationship beliefs, and I am beyond respectful to them and what they believe and what they want to do. But for me, myself, and like the advice that I would give for what works for me is, you know, I'm looking to treat my woman like my business. You know what I mean? In a sense where it's like, I give my business my everything. 24/7, it has access to me, and I'm looking to pour in, go all in. Like, you have my commitment from day one. And so as a young man out there, it's like, when you're looking for the woman, you know, I heard this from a good pastor too. He's like, you're not going to find your queen in the strip club. You know what I mean? Like, the queen and the thing that you want that's going to be very valuable in this life is going to be in a valuable environment. So it's like when I found you, you were, I found you on social media, but you were, and then obviously in the same business, but you were working out. So it's like she's in the self-development environment. She's reading, she's working, she's going to bed early. So it's like all of these like environmental, habits and things that you were doing. It was very easy for me to identify that's the right one. So that's like to each their own. Like some of you guys, you might want to find a night owl girl, some creative girl, some girl that's not working, but it's like, don't look at what she says, look at what she's doing. You know what I mean? And it's been very, very easy for me to be like, tell you day one, like, yeah, I'm going to marry you and I'm getting your name tatted next week. You know what I mean? And it's funny because that's how we met. She was blowing me up in DMs and she said she was going to get my name tatted. So.
Yo.
No, it was the other way around.
For whoever's watching this, like, Tristan's so good with words and stuff and like he knows how to talk. Zero game. But I think that was a good indicator of like, I'm not out here playing around. Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? I wasn't out playing around.
Yeah.
And same deal with her. Like the fact that she bought into because some girls, like, they want to play games too. You know what I mean? So if you're too hardcore as a guy of like showing feelings, they get the cold feet. You know what I mean? So it was a great indicator as well that you weren't out here playing around. But there's also a level of maturity that like you go through your exploration as a teenager and in your early 20s of, you're seeing what guys you like, what guys you don't like, and what girls you like, what girls you don't like. And I think some of these younger guys and girls, it's like, I don't know, it would be awesome if we would have met at like 3 years old, you know what I mean? And did like literally our entire lives together. But I'm glad, we both know what we don't like, you know what I mean? Because it's very easy. I like how Hormozy puts it, where he does a lot of content on like, if you want to stay poor, do this, to kind of give you the opposites, because there's a lot of things you can do to get to where you want to go. But there are some red flags, non-negotiables for relationships, for businesses that are for you and that are for that other individual. So I think it was cool. It still is cool. And it's still so fresh. And I'm very excited. We're 3 weeks into building a business together. And I think talking on that dynamic, we would not have a business without you. I literally sometimes sit here and ask myself, like, what is my role? You know what I mean? Like, I'll give myself a title. It would be the CYO. I'll be the Chief Yapping Officer. So, but like, I literally watch you like wake up, hit the computer, and it's almost like she's coding. If any of you guys know what like coding looks like, she's not coding. She doesn't know how to code. She could figure it out though, easily. Like the amount of passion that she has. And that's a big thing. Like if you're going to be successful, passion precedes the success. Like you have to really have a burning desire. And she's got this burning desire of like just figuring and putting things out that I wouldn't say I don't lack passion, but I lack the patience of lead generation, figuring out CRMs, doing all of this stuff where it's like, we don't have the money to pay for it all yet. So you're figuring it all out for us. And I think our ability to, assemble people together, I would say that if I'm adding value, I'm finding some good people that are able to work the leads.
We're in like, I don't know where you're acting like you're not like.
No, I think it's just, I think for me, like I'm never looking like it's hard for me to look to myself, but I'm looking at you constantly on how much value you really add. And
I think you really don't like paperwork and you really don't like math and you really don't like Zoom calls.
And she can see it because when we met, I had grossed $6-7 million on 1099s and she was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And she's like, so what'd you keep? I'm like, none of it. She was like, do you know how to do any math? I was like, I know how to do math. I'll just go make more.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, we're going to have a conversation.
Listen, that's why we match. That's why we rock so good together. Because, like, you're super not into, all the techie stuff, the lead generation, the marketing, the creatives, like the contracts, whatever. Like, that's not you at all. And, like you pretty much, you have an idea and I'm just executing,
Yeah. I think that's very big, guys, because I think if you're going, like, aligning with a partner in life, I think would obviously be the foundation. But then to take it the next step, if you guys want to do business together, it's a whole other level of alignment. Like we still disagree on business things and we're still working on processing that on like, for me, it's communication, delivery, and not getting too upset and taking things too serious. and letting things draw out where it's like, I don't need to have a reaction to it. It's like, it is what it is. We disagree, we move on. But I think that a big thing that people need to understand is if you guys are like, and I don't know if I should say taught, but kind of reminded me of this lesson is we wanted to bring someone and I wanted to bring someone into the business. And she was like, I want you to listen to this from Hormozy. You know what I mean? I've read both his books. We both listened to a tremendous amount of his content. And it was about partnerships, relationships, bringing people into your business. And he literally just says, and I didn't want to listen to it. And he's like, if they cannot do something that you can't do, and they can't bring some other form of value, whether it be in some form of money or resources, then don't bring them into your business. There's no reason to compromise, especially if there's gut feelings, character, if that is getting thrown off. Like the people that you bring into your business should be able to add a different skill set, a different value, different form of resources, compensation, relationships, etc. And I think that's something I've been kind of like kind-hearted on in the past. Like, oh yeah, you can come in, but we both do the same thing. So it's like now it's kind of obsolete. So it's like I love how she has stuff. We both do stuff similarly that's very well, but she has things that she does way better than I do. And I have one thing that I do way better than her, and that is yap. No, but in all seriousness, I think that's huge. Because if you're going to try to build a business with your partner and you guys both just crush sales, that's fine. But like you guys need to find somebody that's good at tech and data and paperwork and good at like, financial management. And that'll also evolve over time. Like you're really good at the lead generation and financial management now, but there's somebody out there better that over time we can pay to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. To delegate.
How was your first little podcast?
Super fun. Are you
Super
happy
fun?
we did that?
I'm so excited. You guys have no idea how happy we are going to do this. I was doing the math with her and I won't bring it up. I will bring it up. It's fine.
Oh,
She
no.
can be upset for 2 minutes.
What?
I was doing the math with her and I was telling her, it's like, if we have 80 more years with each other and there's 52 Sundays in a year.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
There's 4,000 Sundays we have left. And if you think about it, if you do all the math on like hypothetically how long you have left to live, it makes you appreciate life a little more. We also share that. We're always thinking about dying.
What?
It's a great way to end the pod. If you don't think about dying, you're not living. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you're right.
I think we're fully living because we are thinking about death.
How did it go in Troy? How did he say that?
He said the gods, they envy us. And I think I think it was Princess Helen or Queen Helen. And she was like, why? And he was like, because they're immortal. They have no appreciation. Everything just fades. They watch us all die, but we're mortal. We're able to deeply appreciate life because it's here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, guys, welcome to the T&G Show.
No.
If you guys like this,
All right, love it.
share, subscribe, like, love you.
You're going to rip another couple?
You're going to say love you back. That's what you're going to do.
I love you, mama.